Okay guys and girls, going to start out this week by taking a little drive over to Big Canyon Lake. See if I can get Benelli to ride with me in the mule. She does not like to ride in that mule, it scares her. As I leave the house, I look out there. It's 75 degrees out here. I see 6 bucks. Hey, that's enough. That's enough, baby. That's enough, baby Benelli. Yes, sir, 6 nice bucks out there. Can't tell they're bucks because they're all bald-headed. Not bald-headed, they got hair on their head, but they don't have any antlers on their head. But we'll stop and get a rod and reel or two. Might do a little fishing off the bank over there at Canyon. See if we can't catch fish off the lake. The wind has been blowing like a banshee today. I just got back from spending 2 days in the airport. I spent all day Sunday in the Birmingham airport. Got out of there finally. I went there at 7 o'clock that morning. Got out of there at 8 o'clock that night. Flew to Atlanta. Come here, Benelli. Flew to Atlanta and missed the connection by 1 minute. It's 10 minutes till the plane departed, but I got there at one minute. I got there at 9:41, and the plane departed at 9:50, but they shut the door at 9:40. So I missed it by 1 minute. They would not open it and let me on. So I spent the night in the Atlanta airport and got out of there, changed to a different airline. Got out of there this morning. Of course, my bag was on the first plane. So once I got to Oklahoma City I guess I got there about 11 o'clock. I had to wait an hour for my other bag to come in on the other plane, the other airline. And so, yeah, for our appearance Saturday night, we used up all of Sunday and pretty much all of Monday. But I got home, went down to the dock, caught a couple of fish down there, which was really neat because I hadn't been catching any off the dock. Both of them just under 3 pounds, 2.5, 2 3/4 pounders. One on a red man spinnerbait and one on a little crappie jig. But it was both bass. I did not catch a crappie. All right, Benelli, I got to get you in that mule. Let's go, baby. As I was saying, it is super windy, and we'll take a little look at Canyon here real quickly. It does go to that around that bend, around that bank there just a little bit. When you take a look at Canyon, you can see that the water is still extremely, extremely low. We should be in 3 or 4 foot of water right here where I'm standing right now. This lake is 77 acres. Big Canyon Lake is 77 acres when it's full, and I doubt that it's over 50 acres right now. It has come up some. Here a while back, I was over there and see that little pond. That's a pond that was inundated when the lake come up and it's completely under the water. Now around that old pond dam, some good fishing when the lake's upright. But we could the other day, Lightning and I was down here fishing. I say the other day, it's I guess back around the week between Christmas and New Year's, so 6 or 7 weeks ago. And you could walk all the way around that pond. You could walk all the way around where you can see it goes around that water there, and you see where that little cut through is. That's dry land there, so it has come up some. But we'll turn over here and take a look at our take a look at our boat ramp. You can see that the boat ramp is a long way from the water. Now there is some water right below that boat ramp, a little bit of water because just from the rainwater where a little prop wash there where we power load out, it causes a hole there. But you can see that it's a long way from the water. So, but I'm going to throw a spinnerbait around here a little bit and see what happens. Be careful with this spinnerbait around Benelli. She jumps up there and tries to get it, so you got to be real careful and not get it around where she can reach it by jumping up there. I was carrying one in my hand the other day, and she jumped up and jerked it out of my hand, and the blade actually cut my fingers, but somehow she grabbed it and jerked it down to the ground and did not get hooked. I don't know how she kept from getting hooked, but she didn't, thankfully. But she probably will before it's all over. She's going to get a hook or two in her because she just, anything that's moving, she wants to grab a hold of. She loves to get stuff out of the water, so I need to get some ducks and kill a few ducks and let her bring those ducks in is what I need to do. I got the camera a little bit far from the water, don't I? I'm just going to make a few casts out here. I'm going to go down around the dam, see her wanting to see that. Oh, yeah, she's wanting that spinnerbait. She has no idea that spinnerbait's got a hook in it. She just knows it's something she'd like to grab a hold of. And, of course, me throwing it out there like that even makes it more enticing for her since you see it goes out there in the air and splash in the water. makes her more enticing to want to go fetch it, grab a hold of it. That's just what the lab is born to do. It's just bred into them. But I am definitely not going to let her get a hold of it. I'm going to try not to let her get a hold of it. I'll put it that way. I'm afraid to sit down anywhere, afraid I may go to sleep. So we're going to make a few casts around a couple of places. We'll go over there by the dam where we got a little bit deeper water. It is still winter time. I did catch a couple of fish off the dock a little while ago. I went down there and fished off the dock about an hour and caught 2. They were both pretty nice, about 2 3/4, 3 pounds, something like that. So that was fun. Okay, well, this is not a fish here, not a single fish. Boy, she wants that bait. I've got to be really careful to not get that down low enough where she can get it. You get down too close to the bank, it's turned into pretty much solid mud there. And she's in solid mud and going to want to get in my lap. That's not going to work, is it? Let's go over there by the dam where we got a little bit deeper water to play with. I might make about one more throw out here. If I let this thing down very far, it goes in the, gets in the grass. Probably get one, have to be pretty far out there at the end of the cast to get a bite. Gets in the grass right there, ticking that grass. Okay, a couple things I want to show you here. One is this rock pile. Look at this rock pile, and this rock pile's usually got about 2 or 3 foot of water over the top of it. Where we're standing is usually about 4 foot deep. And you can see this rock pile goes out and it's going to form a point. We're going to go out there and fish off that point. But this is like one of the premier spots in the entire Big Canyon Lake because of these rocks. You see those rocks, and those rocks are all underwater. They got all those weeds in there, and it's just absolutely a perfect spot. Now, I want Benelli to be really careful because it's possible that Travis has got a coyote trap set around here, right in here somewhere, and sure as the world, she'll get in it probably. I'm watching her, she starts smelling around something. I'll be careful. I know how he sets them. They're pretty hard to see. We're really unlevel there. Apologize for that, but we're on really unlevel ground. Go look over there, and that's the dam. And you can see the dam, and you can look over there, and we'll probably go over there and look at that a little bit closer. But you can look over there, get out there. You look over there, and you see that spillway. Those pipes are going up, and so the water flows up those pipes. As the water comes up, water flows up those pipes and goes over the top of that spillway. I got my rod and reel in my hand. I can't hardly do 2 things at once. But we'll go over and take a little closer look at that. But that water goes over the top of that. That's the deal that I engineered on a place we had down in Texas, just like that, except they went straight down. On this one, I just simply laid out there, and they go off down there. And when the lake's full, that's about 40 foot deep right there that they go down into. The water comes off the bottom and then overflows over the top into that concrete square there, and then goes down through a 3 foot pipe down below the dam, which we'll take a look at here in a minute. I'm going to turn the camera on. I've got big Lucky Strike spinnerbait out there. Slow roll that thing. That's grass goes pretty far out right there, but then it drops off of the edge of that grass pretty deep. So we'll see what we might be able to scrape up, if anything, here along this point. Won't be long when the fish come up in shallow water. You'll be able to come to this point right here and catch several probably. Benelli's really wanting to grab a hold of that spinnerbait. She doesn't know that she can't turn loose of it once she grabs a hold of it. But I got the barb off of it, obviously, so that's a good thing. I hit the grass right there. That's a good thing because if she does grab a hold of it and it sticks her, it's going to hurt. The point of the hook will hurt, but it'll back right out. It won't have to worry about the barb being down in her skin because there's no barb on there. We'll run that bait around a little bit, and we'll walk out on that point a little bit there and throw around there. This lake is literally full of big bass. Woo-hoo! And crappie. Lots and lots of crappie. We stocked this lake with crappie from the other lake. Caught about 35 big crappie in the spawning season, males and females. Brought them over here and turned them loose. And that's how we stocked it. All right, let's throw her out off the point. That's throwing out in some pretty deep water there, so I can drop it down a little bit. Slow roll it and let it get down to about the top of the grass. There is grass all around this point. You can see all the rocks. It's just like, this point is such a dynamite place to fish that it's amazing. When this water's up, all of these rocks, it's just like, it's automatic bass. Automatic bass. We catch them just every time we fish the lake, we catch them here. The lake down, there's still going to be some hanging around the edge of it, though, I know that. They're not out there too far. I bet you that. Of course, when you're throwing out deep and bringing in shallow, it makes it a little bit more difficult than if you're in a boat doing the opposite of that. That's all right. You see them hitting the grass when I get up closer. Grass on the bait. Just one or two, that's all I want to catch, just something, anything. If the thing was 5 or 6 pounds, that'd be even better. I'm getting in closer, I'm speeding that up to keep it out of the grass. Actually, the fish that I caught on a spinnerbait off of the, boy, I just about got that down low enough for her to get it. Actually, the fish that I caught on a spinnerbait off the dock, I was throwing in toward the bank, and he wasn't very far, wasn't too awful far away from the bank. He'd kind of come in there shallow where that wind was blowing in on that bank. Come up in that shallow grass. He was really cold, though. She had some cold lips on her, I promise you that. I give her some sugar. She probably thought, woohoo, Jimmy's got some hot lips. No, not that hot, baby. Yours are just cold. That's the way that game's played. Oh, but Nellie, please don't grab my spinnerbait. She said, well, don't get it close enough, boss, and I won't grab it. There could be a trap set right in here. I better kind of look around real careful because I see some coon droppings over there on a rock. I'm positive that, in fact, I think I see a stick sticking straight up over there that might have a chain on it. Oh, I see one right there. Yeah, I think. I better be real careful here. Come here, Benelli. Come up here. Yeah, I bet there's a trap right here close by. I need to look around a little bit before I fish anymore. She'll be getting her foot caught in the trap. Kind of watching her, she's exploring everything, and I just about bet there's a trap right here close by. I catch a fish around one of these trees. And she smells that scent. She'll get up there, been messing around with it and get her foot in it. It's not going to kill her or anything, but I probably wouldn't even break her foot, but it might. Being a little puppy like that might break her foot or break her leg. We don't want that to happen, do we, Benelli? No, we don't want that to happen. Where are you now? Right here. You stay right here. Look down there and make sure there's no trap around here close. That's the only thing I was kind of concerned with coming down here to Canyon Lake is if Travis has got some traps over here, well, the way she noses around into everything, she would probably definitely get in one. You can take a quick look at what it looks like up here on this dam. This dam right here, we're standing right about in the middle of it. The dam is actually over 300 yards long. This dam is longer than the other dam and actually a little bit taller than the other dam. When I found this place where these two mountains, this mountain over there, doesn't look like much of a mountain, but that's what it is. The mountain over there, and then that's the creek that it's built on, one that crosses the highway up here. Come here, Benelli, don't go down there. And that mountain right there, I thought we could tie these two mountains together with a dam and be a perfect place to build a lake. And that's why we bought the 700 and some odd acres that this piece of heaven right here sits on. And this is down below the dam right over there. You can see, if we zoom over there, you can see one of our favorite. We actually shot some video from there this year. One of our all-time favorite stands right there, big Texas Hunter stand. And a Texas Hunter feeder there. But you can look down below there and you see what happens down there. Now, our property line is right there. There's a fence right there. You can't really see it, but just the other side, back in those trees a little ways, is a fence. And that is DeLisi. DeLisi are great neighbors. They're actually in several thousand acres over there, and they're actually mining way back over there. You might be able to hear them occasionally. But that's the creek that is running, again, out of this lake, and you can see that it's got some water in it. Now, that's the bad deal, because it's got water in it. It means that, and you see some water coming up there. Now, that creek runs down, comes over that hill right over there, back right in there. And that water is probably not coming out of this lake, but it may be. It may be. And that's why it's so difficult to keep this lake full. We got to have fairly decent rains to keep it full, because it is leaking a little bit. And the engineers that designed it told me that that would probably happen, so I'm not too surprised. But Nellie, come up here. You're going to get caught in a trap, sure as the world. Sure as the world, you're going to get caught in a trap. So I'm exploring, boss. I'm looking around. It's a whole brand new world for me. Well, she don't like to ride in that mule. This is the view from this dam here. And that's not too shabby either. That's the point we were on a minute ago. And you can see those rocks. You just see, you can look at that point right there now. If you found a lake and it was down low like this, you'd take a picture of that and try to remember every little inch of it. So when the water come back up and inundated that, covered that point up, you'd know exactly how to fish it. Well, let me tell you, it is, we just caught hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fish off that point. That's a lot of rocks right there. Those trees over on the other side hold fish. The boat ramp, you can see, is way over there on that side. We have a boat dock that is way up there, and sometimes it's got 7 foot of water under it. Now it's got none. This is the spillway system right here below me. We'll walk down there and get on that spillway system here in a minute, and I'll show you exactly how it works. That's a Jimmy Houston engineered spillway system right there. I rigged one up like that down in Texas. The lake builders and the dam builders down there told me that that would not work, that would suction the lake dry once it got to running. And on that one, I just put 4 pipes around the edge of it, and they came out and then bent over and went straight down about 10 foot. On these, I got those laid out. We'll look at them down there in a minute. But that's a beautiful bank right over there. Chris and I have caught so many fish on that bank. That's a rocky bank also. This lake is just full of fish. Well, Jimmy, if there's so many fish, how come you hadn't caught one this evening? Because Jimmy doesn't know how to fish. But let's go on down there and see if we can throw around here a little bit. You can see what I have here. That is a 4 foot square concrete, and it's got a 3 foot diameter pipe that is down there that runs down through this dam down into that creek down there on the bottom. And I've got pipes out on the front of it, 4 of them, that are connected on the front. And as the lake fills up, that water comes up those pipes, and it'll eventually run over and run into that concrete cavern right there and run out of the lake. I've seen the lake where the water was 2 or 3 foot up above that grate. And that grate will get covered in trash and stuff, and I have to get down there and clean it off. I get down there with my muck boots on and stand in there and clean that grate off with a rake. A lot of the fish will be sucked into there, and there'll be a lot of fish that are small fish, not big fish, but bluegill and crawfish and stuff that are laying up in there, and a lot of them are still alive, a lot of them are dead. They'll all die if we don't get them off of there. But that's when the lake is normal and that's completely full and running through. It is running through just about 6 inches below the top of that right there. You see that I put down 6 inches down. I put a couple on each end that are simply covered with a cap. I did that just in case my engineering wouldn't work. Redneck insurance is what that is, redneck insurance. But it works perfectly. It works absolutely perfectly. I'm going to walk down there and make a few throws around this dam. Looky here, hit right by the bank. Look at Benelli, look at Benelli. Benelli's getting all excited. Now Benelli's running from it. What is it, Benelli? What is it, baby? What is it? What is it? Oh my goodness, looky there. Looky there, Benelli. Looky there, baby. Looky there. By golly, we did catch one. That fish hit right up by the bank. Now, he probably followed it. Benelli is, I don't want to, hey, no, don't chew on the rod. I don't want to lay the rod down because you might grab the spinnerbait. So I'm just going to, here, baby, you can lick it. No, don't bite it, just lick it. It's a bass. That's pretty good. We finally caught one. We finally caught one. That bass started flopping around. That bass started flopping around up there on the bank, or flapping around, you know, up here close to the bank. It didn't hit out there, but about 10 foot off the end of the bank. I don't know if it was up close to the bank, or if it followed it, or what. I let that thing drop down pretty deep out there in this corner. But the fish hit up real close. Benelli got excited about that. You know what was coming out of that water to get her? She's growling at it, barking at it. She's sitting on my foot now. She's sitting right here. Sitting right here on my foot. Can't see her there. Look at her there. Sitting right on my foot. She says, "You're not moving, boss, without me knowing it. You're not leaving me here. Those things might get me." I'm gonna throw one down close to that bank right there. That fish there was in close. One I caught on a spinnerbait off the dock was up toward the bank too, not very far off of it. You know, really kindly shallow. I'm trying to throw it out there deep and let it fall down. Might need to be fishing a little closer to the bank. The wind is finally laid. It's blowing so bad now, it's got beautiful. Like it normally does right before dark, the magic hour. If you could just make time stand still, this is when I'd want it to stand still. The first hour after sunrise, the last hour before dark. If we could just fish all day long under those kind of conditions for 14 hours a day, we would all catch big strings of fish, I promise you. It's such a magic time. The thing about the evening time is if the fishing's been pretty tough, a lot of fishermen have already quit and gone home because they're not catching many. And then those that have toughed it out till that last hour before dark gets there, sometimes they have a bonanza. Many, many, many days I've salvaged the whole day, that last hour or two before dark. Of course, you can't salvage that in a tournament because you don't ever get to do that. You get to fish the first hour or two before daylight, but never, ever the last hour before dark. But by golly, I can do it right here tonight. Yes, I can. Well, let's move on around this point. We caught one, we caught one, we caught one. Ooh, she just about got that bait. All right, Benelli. Well, that was kind of fun. We might see a deer on the way out. Never can tell, the wind's died down. Should be some deer. Let's go check on my beautiful Chris. We only caught one fish, but first time I've been over here and actually messed around. I've driven over here, but it's nice to come over here and just look around. But as you can see, that's a pretty nice view right there too. Not nearly as large a lake, but you know, 70 some odd acres is still a pretty good sized lake. Nothing wrong with that at all. And it's a beautiful lake. And although it didn't show off for us this evening, that baby's got some fish in it. And we may have to come over here and put a kayak in or something. Do a kayak show. We hadn't done anything in a kayak in a while. We could do that maybe in March. That's nice. And hopefully we're gonna keep on getting some rains and this baby will come on up where we can put our big boats back in it. I sure hope so. That's a beauty though. The wind blew so hard today. It's calmed down right here before dark. How many of them's out there anyway? 9 or 10? Yeah, probably not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 10 out there. I might have miscounted, there might only be 9. It's funny, they look at you like, we're looking at them, they're saying, well, look at that nice mule up there. What's a good looking guy driving it in? And he sure is. Man, he's a handsome dude. Dream on, Jimmy, dream on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I get 9 there, but it's kind of hard to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. Oh, that one back behind. Yeah, there's one back behind. Yep, 10 of them. It's very nice. Another small herd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got a filthy, dirty windshield on. Hi, ladies. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in this little bunch. Well, they're bunching up, aren't they? They're definitely bunched up. Those are probably all those and fawns. Can't really tell though. There's 7 of them out there. We're gonna walk out there and stop and talk about us right now.